One, two, three, three, two, one. Welcome back to What's the Word with me. Oh, I didn't even realize that. Oops, it was all up in the corner over there. That's the lamp because, it's dark. It's gloomy today. It's cold. It's only, what was it, 60 something in the house. It's cold. It was almost 80 yesterday, and now it's cold. But it's not too cold, obviously. If I got this, he's got that. I'm comfortable, so I like it a little cold in the house. But come back. So excited. All six of you, and hopefully you're sharing and watching and loving me, loving spending time with us, and just, you know, being with God. Speaking of, like I said, God has just been doing amazing things, and I guess when he shows up, I would like to tell you, and it was just yesterday that showed up in Walmart. Right? Oh, yes, before, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Paula and this is Noah. And yesterday was his last day of school. Congratulations! Yay! High five! Yay! We're moving on up with the grades. Um we're actually back to homeschool, which is why we're doing this, but not really why we're doing this. We're just doing this because, spending time with Jesus and spending time, but we need to get in a routine and a sturdy thing, routine with chores and schools this is a trade school. You're gonna learn a whole bunch of different have the experience of a different jobs. So, God, please give me the words to speak because I am like flustered right now and I don't know why. I don't know why. So, back to the lady at Walmart. It was awesome. I had to go to Walmart. We were just getting some food and I needed a cash register for this business, this hot dog stand. I needed to be able to calculate on a quickness. A little upset about it though. Because I bought it and I bought paper for it, but the paper's way too big. So now I guess I gotta go back to Walmart, trade it off, and yeah. So or hopefully they'll let me and get paper. Hopefully they have that will fit. But the good thing, like I said, while we were checking out, um, there was a lady who was having problem with her card in front of us, so we were like standing there for a while, and I didn't mind it. It's just I got back problems, so it's hard to stand in one spot for long. But it was fine. I we were right up to the belt, and I don't like self checkout. I don't like self checkout, and I don't like cashiers who don't want to do their job. Like I don't want to be scanning this. If I wanted to scan it, I'd get a job as a cashier. Um, just saying, that's just my opinion. It's really sad that they have this self checkout. It's really cool. Like I said, when we first got it, God knows, we you would scan a couple things and get away with a lot. But at the same time, I don't know. I like the person interaction. I like the going to the store and having the store person do it. I don't know. I don't know. I do and every time I get to self checkout, we have a problem. Every time we have a problem. We literally was only buying two things one time, and it's always giving us a problem. So I just don't like it. Don't like it. And say good morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, so I'm so excited to be with you guys. Oh, dang it! I keep missing to tell you the story. So we're at the checkout counter, and like I said, we were just standing there for a while, and I don't know, she just started talking to me and hoping that it doesn't happen to us because we all have the same card apparently. The three of us all had KeyBank cards. Um, but somehow she just started talking and I don't know, everybody's gonna make a comment about her card. Oh, I learned it from my mother, maybe. I'm like, I don't know why I always do this. It's just what I do. When we go shopping, I just fill up the cart. I fill it up. I don't know. We almost needed two, but the lady ended up finding us two. Um, so it was good. The cashier lady found us two because she she had so much stuff that she needed me to like give her the cart, but I still had stuff to get out of the cart, so I couldn't give her the cart yet because it was a lot of stuff still. Um, yeah, so that was funny. And somehow she started talking to me, and I told her about Danny and the situation, and she wants me to go to do something, and I'm like really sad that I forgot what it was, but it was some kind of walk. Um, and I would so love to do that because for a very long time I've always wanted to do a 5K walk, but I'm kind of out of shape now, so I'm gonna need to work at that. You know what a 5K walk is?
A long walk.
Well, there you go. It's a long walk. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to. That was actually a run I wanted to do. And then I don't know. There's this when I worked at Marriott, there was this what did they call it? A like a concert run, something that every so often they would have bands playing throughout the whole run. It's silly. He wants to use a different spoon for he's the only one eating this and the cereal, and he won't eat it with the same spoon that he ate the cereal. But I'll eat it with a random spoon. Anyways, so we started talking. Right, we were at the Marriott. Oh my god, my brain. You see how my brain's like. Anyways, um, when I worked at the Marriott, that was like that lady, so I always wanted to do that. And then this lady at Walmart, I don't know where my brain is this morning. Maybe I shouldn't be sitting down to this, but I have to because I have to. Oh, it's crybaby. Easily distracted. Yes, I'm sorry. Distracted and like I said, my point of the story is the point. Let's get to the point. It is that, I told her about my husband and that he was almost perfect. It was almost perfect. But she said, make a list of the man that you want. Because I guess she had done the same thing. It was an older lady. And she's like, but you're so young. And I'm like, yeah, well, addiction, And when I say that, I think of when addiction stole my baby girl away on that song. And it's like, and there's nothing I can do. That's when addiction steals the loved one and there's nothing that you can do. But make a list of what you want in a man and God will provide that. So that's what I was trying to do is think of what I want in a man and what I want in a relationship and I want them to love my boys. Danny loved them, but he wouldn't help with them. He would give them anything, 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 but he would not, he talks with them, and especially Noah, he had talks with them, and you know, um, would like raise his voice if they weren't listening, but it was mostly he would yell at me for their behavior instead of, so I would like somebody to like help. That's my thing. And obviously, number one is to know who God is, know who they are in God, know who, come to God for me, come to God for my babies, for, like you see, like you saw. God is just everywhere, everywhere and everything. And I love it. I love it. And I love it. And I think, when Jesus said, We're gonna get there. Okay. Oh my God. John 20. Was it John 20? About that he gave us the blanket of the Holy Spirit. He's sending it down because he went up, so he's sending the Holy Spirit down. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm very excited today because, like I said, I've been waiting to get into this, how Joseph reveals himself. So we might actually do the 2 chapters because 45 is kind of short, and that's where Joseph reveals himself. We've been getting through this for a while, and we've covered a lot of different stories just in Genesis. Can you imagine that how many generations we've already been through from Adam to Joseph now? And then Joseph, oh, I don't think Joseph has children yet, not yet. But like, just imagine. Can you imagine how many generations just this little piece of pages is? That's where we're at right now in the Bible, and we still have all this to go. That's why I want to like sit down, relax, and we have all this. We've accomplished this. So Joseph Silber's cup will accomplish it all, and we'll get through it. And I don't know how long it'll take. It's taken what, like a year, 2 years for that, but exactly why I had to alter it, right? We had to alter it to perfection, trial and error, and now we're here just strictly YouTube, strictly. The heck? Sounded like a frog.
That was a farce.
Real is real is real. And just show, like I said, my brain is like, I don't even know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know nothing. But I do know that I'm excited, and I do know who God is, and I know who I am in God, and that He loves us very, very much. Sorry, I just need to get that. Just for the moment. I love this kid. All right. How perfect is that? Look, just flipped it right to the page. Okay, put that back in there.
You're not even close to being done.
Not even close. But we're turning the page today. We're going to get through 44 and 45. And then we already read Trusting God When You Can't See a Way. That, ooh, I love it. I love it. So, Joseph's silver cup. So, actually, let's get Noah caught up on the story of Joseph because I don't think he knows the story of Joseph. So, Joseph had 10 brothers.
I remember that.
Do you know this whole story of Joseph? Who was Joseph?
Well, first of all, I remember he got married to a wife, and then he got married to another wife, and then another wife, and then another wife.
And I just told you Joseph's not married or has kid yet. Joseph is 11, has 11 brothers, and he interprets dreams for God. So his dad loved him very much because he was given to him in his old age. So he was old, didn't think he could have any more babies, and ended up having a baby. Jacob had Joseph.
What?
Jacob, the dad,
Had Joseph.
loves Joseph because he was given to him at a very late age. So Joseph can interpret dreams for God, and he had his own dreams, and he went and told his brothers about the dreams, and it was about them having to bow down to him because he was going to be ruler of them. And they got mad because he was the baby of the family. That's me. He was the baby of the family, and he was going to be the higher of the family, even above his dad, Jacob. Jacob would even come to bow down to him. So they got mad at him. His dad gave him a beautiful, different color jacket, like a cloak, a something, right? So he always wore that, and his brothers were jealous after he told them the dream, and he said, "Yeah, if you think that we're gonna rule over you, watch this." And they took him, and they were gonna kill him.
I remember. Uh. Wait. They did kill him.
No, that's Cain and Abel. They were going to kill him, but instead one of the brothers, Reuben, was like, "Please don't kill him. Let's just sell him to this slavery people." So then that's what they did, and he ended up enslaved and somehow in the Pharaoh's castle. And then the Pharaoh had dreams, and nobody could interpret his dreams, and he didn't know what it meant. So they got him, Joseph, out of jail. He ended up being in jail. Um, and then now he is ruler of all Egypt. He is even above the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh put him above himself. That he is higher than all his minions, all his people, all his everybody. So now the dream that the Pharaoh had was 7 years prosperity, which means 7 years that they ate, they had a lot of food and a lot of time, a lot of stuff to collect everything. And then 7 years famine. So that's where we're at now, is the 7 years famine. Do you know what famine is? If prosperity is food, what's famine? No food.
Wait, what?
So they're starving. They had 7 years, really. 7 years um with enough food for everybody, and 7 years with not a lot of food. So Joseph told the Pharaoh, the 7 good years, we're going to portion it off so we can save a bunch of food to be able to feed everybody. Stop doing that. Hate that because he's got like stuff in his ear and like he's always, ew. We'll do that after, but I mean, like, is that real? It's just, I seen it and it was, ew. Um, alcohol. This is water. Um, oh my God. So the dream the Pharaoh had, and so he stocked up the 7 years good stuff. So now we're at the 7 years famine. I don't know what year they're on right now. And his brothers, the ones who sold him into slavery, where they're asking him for food. And his dad had another son named Benjamin, and Joseph wanted to see Benjamin. So he like was harsh to the brothers because he recognized the brothers, but the brothers didn't recognize him. You're like playing with the camera and not listening. Are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
What are you listening?
To you.
So that's where we're at. That this is their second time. See, look, the brothers returned to Egypt. That's their second time. And then when they returned, they had a feast at Joseph's house. And now we're on Joseph's silver cup. So, very, very exciting. And then I can't wait for Joseph to reveal himself. Joseph reveals himself because, like I said, he remembers the brothers, but the brothers don't remember him. So he's going to reveal himself to the brothers. And I can't wait. It's like a drama movie. Ooh, where are we? It's so fun. I've asked you to stop doing that. Why are you doing that? That's disgusting.
It's good.
And nobody wants to see inside your mouth. No. Ew. Ew. We don't want to see inside his mouth, right? Ew. Ew. Nasty. Ew. So, Joseph's silver cup. When his brothers were ready to leave, Joseph gave these instructions to his palace manager. So even Joseph had a palace manager. Fill each of their cups with as much grain as they can carry. This is the same thing they did the first time too when they so they came
and got the grain and then got their money back for the grain because you got to buy the grain, you got to exchange money for the food. So they gave them all the food and then they gave them their money back. And now this time they're going to do it again. Oops. um Fill each of their sacks with as much grain as they can carry and put each man's money back into his sack. Then put my personal silver cup at the top of the youngest brother's sack, along with the money for his grain. So the manager did as Joseph instructed. Remember who the youngest brother was?
No.
Benjamin. See, because you weren't listening. So Benjamin was the one with the money now. The brothers were up at dawn and were sent on their journey with their loaded donkeys. But when they had gone only a short distance and were barely out of the city, Joseph said to his palace manager, "Chase after them and stop them." I think Joseph is deceiving them, don't you think? I think that's a little bit deceptive by the whole exchanging of the money and then giving it back to them. And then now he's doing it again, and he told them about the cup and chase after them, right? That's a little deceptive, right? Chase after them and stop them. When you catch up with them, ask them, "Why have you repaid my kindness with such evil?" What do you think his point of this is, right? Why have you stolen my master's silver cup? And this is only the one silver cup, right? And it says, as in Greek version, Hebrew lacks this phrase. So it lacks the "why have you stolen my master's cup," which he uses to predict the future. Oh, what a wicked thing you have done. So it's Joseph Cup, how he interprets dreams. When the palace manager caught up with the men, he spoke to them as he had been instructed. "What are you talking about?" the brothers responded. "Why are your servants? We are your servants, sorry, and would never do such a thing. Didn't we return the money we found in our sacks? We brought it back all the way from the land of Canaan. Why would we steal the silver or gold from your master's house? If you find his cup with any one of us, let that man die. All of the rest of us, my lord, will be your slaves." How do you think this man who Joseph told to do all this, right? He told them. So he knew that he was the one that put the grain in. He put the money in, and he knew who had the cup. So as they're saying, may the one who has it die. Like, what do you think this man is thinking, or how is he feeling? Like, oh my gosh. "Let that man die, and all the rest of us, my lord, will be your slaves." "That's fair," the man replied, "but only the one who stole the cup will be my slave." Oh, because Joseph wanted Benjamin, right? "The rest of you may go free." They all quickly took their sacks from the backs of their donkeys and opened them. The palace manager searched the brothers' sacks from the oldest to the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. When the brothers saw this, they tore their clothing in despair. Then they loaded their donkeys again and returned to the city. Joseph was still in his palace when Judah and his brothers arrived, and they fell to the ground before him. "What have you done?" Joseph demanded. "Don't you know that the man like me can predict the future?" What is his point? Oh, I think he's trying to reveal himself before he actually reveals himself. He's speaking sort of in parables like Jesus did, right? But he's tricking them. There's a problem. Jesus never tricked anybody. He never they gave him the money and he had the person put the money back and the food and the cup that they're speaking of right now, right? What is the purpose of this? Judah answered, "Oh, my lord, what can we say to you? How can we explain this? How can we prove our innocence? God is punishing us for our sins. I think this is where or why, right? Because then they're like, my Lord, we have all returned to be your slaves, all of us, not just our brother who had your cup in his sack. No, Joseph said, I would never do such a thing. Only the man who stole the cup will be my slave. The rest of you go back to your father in peace. Ooh. And Joseph doesn't know what happened between uh his dad and all, let us take Benjamin. If we don't go without Benjamin, we can't go. He doesn't know that whole scene, and I'm responsible for Benjamin. If Benjamin doesn't come back, I'll die, right? Does he know that? Oh, here we go. So here it is. Judah speaks for his brothers. Then Judah stepped forward and said, Please, my lord, let your servant say just one word to you. Please do not be angry with me, even though you are as powerful as Pharaoh himself. So one word is like a whole phrase, right? In here, because he said, let me speak just one word. And then he goes on to a whole story. So it's one word is like a story, right? And he's calling his brother my lord. And that's not even the Pharaoh. It's not even the Pharaoh. That's crazy. And they even called the servants of, okay, the servants of Joseph, my lord as well. Because they're all, I guess, like I said, the whole pyramid thing. So my lord would be anybody second, third level, right? Previously, you asked us, your servants, do you have a father or a brother? And we responded, Yes, my lord, we have. See, turning the pages. We have a father who is an old man, and his youngest son is a child of his old age. Youngest son is a child in his old age. It was also Joseph was also, remember he said that? His full brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him very much. See, it's his name. And you said to us, Bring him here so I can see him with my own eyes. But we said to you, my lord, the boy can't leave his father, for his father would die. But you told us, unless your younger brother comes with you, you will never see my face again. See, that's what I love about the Bible is it's like repeating the story. It's like, okay, so just, like I said, the whole telephone thing, this conversation happened with the first time, right? And now this is again the second time, and they're having to repeat. But we already went over this. We already, you can't keep him, right? So unless the youngest brother comes with you, you will never see my face again, is what he told them. So we returned to your servants, our father. We returned to your servant, our father, and told him what you said. So they returned to his servant, their dad, right? Later, when he said, Go back again and buy us more food, we replied, We can't go unless your youngest brother goes with us. We'll never get to see the man's face unless our younger brother is with us. Then my father said to us, As you know, my wife had 2 sons. Look at man. Why is it down there? Okay. My wife had 2 sons. Where'd you go? Shoot. Oh, and one of them went away and never returned. Doubtless he was torn to pieces by some wild animals. As they're telling him, can you imagine? Oh my God. What was Joseph thinking? Right? Because now they're talking about him. I had never seen him once. I've never seen him since. Sorry. Now, if you take his brother away from me and any harm comes to him, you will send this grieving white haired man to his grave. And we know that word is Sheol. S-H. Where'd it go? Right there. S-H-E-O-L. Sheol. And now, my lord, I can't go back to my father without the boy. Our father's life is bound up in this boy's life. As it was Joseph, but somehow, Benjamin came. he was distraught for a very long time, right? After he lost Joseph. If he sees the boy is not with us, our father will die. We, your servants, will indeed be responsible for sending this grieving white-haired man to his grave. My lord, I guaranteed to my father that I would take care of the boy. I told him, if I don't bring him back to you, I will bear the blame forever. So please, my lord, let me stay here as a slave instead of the boy, and let the boy return with his brothers. For how can I return to my father if the boy is not with me? I can't bear to see anguish would cause my father. You gotta think about this story. Can you imagine? I don't know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. So we're on Joseph reveals his identity. Pharaoh invites Jacob to Egypt. And then we'll be on to 46. So, yay! We are going to continue on because this is what I've been waiting for. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know why, but it's so much fun. All right. I just want to sip of my coffee and check on Noah, and we'll be right back. All right, we are resumed. Yay! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Think about the situation. So now, right? Please, we're gonna finish read again the last couple verses. So please, my lord, let me stay here as a slave instead of the boy, and let the boy return to with his brothers, for I wanted to read it. For how can I return to my father if the boy is not with me? I couldn't bear to see the anguish it would cause my father. So now, so now, Joseph could stand it no longer. There were many people in the room, and he said to his attendants, out, all of you. So he was alone with his brothers when he told them who he was. Then he broke down and wept. He wept so loudly the Egyptians could hear him, and word of it quickly carried to Pharaoh's place. Can you imagine? Like, see, that's the thing. Everybody's all up in everybody's business, and everything that you hear, you got to gossip and spread it around, right? So eventually, it went from wherever they were in that private room to wherever the Pharaoh was, because people were talking and walking and talking and talking and walking, right? So he wept so loudly the Egyptians could hear him, and word of it quickly carried to the Pharaoh's palace. He said, listen, I am Joseph, he said to his brothers. Is my father still alive? But his brothers were speechless. They were stunned to realize that Joseph was standing there in front of them. Please come closer. Remember the dream, remember the interpretation, and this is how he ended up there in the first place because of the jealousy of his brothers. So I think that's why God gave Joseph the dream so early, because all this had to happen. Bad stuff had to happen to make Joseph great. Bad stuff had to happen for me to be where I'm at. I like the calmest, most peaceful, most amazing time in my life. It is a little bit lonely, but like I told my brother at one point in time, um, might be lonely sometimes, but at least I ain't got drama. I ain't got no more drama. I ain't got no more jealousy. I don't have no more. Like I said, I'm the only one to compete with me. I can compete with me. I can be better today than I was yesterday, and that's where I'm at. That's where I am at, and I don't want to compete with nobody. That list of my husband, I don't want to compete. I want us to complete. I want us to. I'm completed. I'm whole. So two holes make a bigger hole, right? I want him to be whole. I want me to be whole, and that way we can fill. Our cups should be full, both of us. My cup, you can't fill up. Like I said, I say this all the time. You can't fill up somebody else's cup unless your cup is full. So in order for me to fill up my children's cup, to fill up my husband's cup, it has to be full. And there's me, and the adults have to have their cups full. The children, they're kind of, you know, spilling it, walking and spilling. That's a good, I guess it's a metaphor, right? A metaphor, analogy, whatever the word is, parable. I don't know what the word is, but they're walking, they're spilling it. Their cups aren't always getting full, but it's our job as parents, my job as a parent, to make sure that it does get full. So back to where we were. They were stunned to realize. Can you imagine? Like, did that happen? Oh my God. So he was true. He was right. His dream came true. And look at us. We're bowing down. We're asking for food. Even our father is the servant of him, and his dream came true. Can you imagine? Like, so Joseph was standing there in front of them. Please come closer, he said to them. So they came closer, and he said again, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into slavery in Egypt. But do not be upset, and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me to this place. It was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives, right? Oh, the famine has ravaged the land for 2 years now. It's 2 years, right? They're in year two. Will last 5 more years, and there will be neither plowing nor harvesting. God has sent me ahead of you to keep you and your families alive and to preserve many survivors. And to save you with extraordinary rescue. The meaning of the Hebrew is uncertain. So it was God who sent me here, not you. And he is the one who made an advisor to Pharaoh. And the advisor, it says, a father of Pharaoh. Because remember, he was higher than even the Pharaoh himself. Can you imagine? So he was a father or an advisor to Pharaoh, the manager of his entire palace, and the governor of all of Egypt, just because God was with him. It's not a just because, that's a big just, right? Now hurry back to my father and tell him, this is what your son Joseph says. Can you imagine? Like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I remember when my daughter first messaged me and how excited I was that she contacted me. And I can't wait for the day to find Kayla. So I know that God will find Kayla, and oh, I can feel it. Right? Now hurry back. This is God has made me master over all the land of Egypt. Basically saying my dream came true, right? My dream came true, and now I'm master over all the land of Egypt. So come down to me immediately. You can live in the region of Gashon, where you can be near me with all your children and grandchildren, your flocks and herds, and everything you own. I will take care of you there, for there are still 5 years of famine ahead of us. Otherwise, you, your household, and all your animals will starve. Then Joseph added, look, you can see for yourselves, and so can my brother Benjamin, that I really am Joseph. And so can my brother Benjamin. Oh, go tell my father of my honored position here in Egypt. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine? Oh, describe for him everything you have seen, and then bring my father here quickly. Weeping with joy, he embraced Benjamin, and Benjamin did the same. Then Joseph kissed each of his brothers and wept over them, and after that, they began talking freely with him. Relationships restored! Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my God, in how many years since they seen him? Oh man, that's such a joyous time, right? So Pharaoh invites Jacob to Egypt. Now it's Pharaoh inviting Jacob, Joseph's father, to Egypt. The news soon reached Pharaoh's palace. Joseph's brothers have arrived. Pharaoh and his officials were all delighted to hear this. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers this is what you must do. Load your pack animals and hurry back to the land of Canaan. Then get your father and all your families and return here to me. I will give you the very best land in Egypt, and you will eat from you will eat from the best that the land produces." But isn't it famine right now? Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers, take wagons from the land of Egypt to carry your little children and your wives." Sorry, I had to pause for a second. Didn't know where I'm at. So the Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Tell your brothers, take wagon from the land of Egypt to carry your little children and your wives and bring your father here. Don't worry about your personal belongings, for the best of the land of Egypt is yours." So the sons of Jacob, Hebrew Israel again, also in 45:28. See note on 35:21. Which was it here? It's 21. The names Jacob and Israel often interchanged throughout the Old Testament, referring sometimes to the individual partridge and sometimes to the nation. So the sons of Jacob, or Israel, did as they were told. Joseph provided them with wagons, as Pharaoh had commanded, and he gave them supplies for their journey. And he gave each of the new clothes, and he gave each of them new clothes. But to Benjamin he gave 5 changes of clothes and 300 pieces of silver. That is 300 shekels, about 7.5 pounds, or 3.4 kilograms in weight. That's a lot of money. He also sent his father 10 male donkeys loaded with the finest products of Egypt and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and other supplies he would need on his journey. So Joseph sent his brothers off, and as they left, he called after them, "Don't quarrel about all these along the way." And they left Egypt and returned to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan. So Joseph sent his brothers off as they left. He called after them, "Don't quarrel about all this along the way." Joseph is still alive. Joseph is still alive, they told him. And he is governor of all the land of Egypt. Jacob was stunned at the news. He couldn't believe it. But when they repeated to Jacob everything Joseph had told them, and when he saw the wagons Joseph had sent to carry him, the father's spirit revived. Oh, he was so excited. Oh my God. That is so awesome. His spirit was revived and he was so excited. Probably the most excited he's been in a very long time, right? Then Joseph exclaimed, "It must be true. My son Joseph is alive. I must go and see him before I die." Because now, he's a very old man. I don't know how long it takes you think to take. We should see the map. Is there a map? From Canaan to.
Every Bible should have a map, Mom.
No, not every Bible has a map, though.
Yours does.
From Canaan to Egypt.
And my blue Bible does too. And
Most Bibles, most newer Bibles, yes, but not
Wait,
not all Bibles.
Yours no.
Well, I don't know where it is. We will look that up at some point in time. But we done. We done. We done. We done. We did 2 chapters today. We did 2 chapters today.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so excited.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We got to see Joseph reveals his identity. His dad's spirit is revived and alive again. And then we have Jacob's journey to Egypt. Jacob's family arrives in Goshen. All right, let go, silly. Jacob blesses Pharaoh. Jacob blesses the Pharaoh. Joseph's father blesses the Pharaoh. Ooh. Joseph's leadership in the famine. Joseph blesses Manasseh and Ephraim. Jacob's last words to his son. Oh, we're almost to the end, and I don't know if I like that one. So Jacob's death and burial. It starts in chapter 49, and it looks like it goes all the way to 50. And then Joseph assures his brother, and the death of Joseph. And we read all the footnotes. So trusting God when you can't see a way, and then just follow along with that. And God intended it all for good. God intended all the bad stuff that happened to Joseph, the being in jail for those years, this, that, all this, being sold into slavery, his dad thinking that he's dead for almost 20 years, right? Can you imagine? Oh, God. Oh, and then finding out that he's alive. So excited. All right, so we have all that, and now we're going to be on Jacob's journey to Egypt. We have to get ready for an inspection in a half an hour for this hot dog stand. Please, God, let everything work out. Let them say that we got this, and maybe they'll have suggestions on how to keep everything warm. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for spending time with us. My Noah's going to be my little co-host because, like I said, I want a co-host. Even though I want him to speak and read and talk to us, at least he's here with me and I'm not talking alone. Look at Oh my goodness.
I have before, guys.
Yes, he has read before. Get out of here.
No.
He's so silly. All right, I love you guys. We're going to get ready. And remember, God loves you. Don't forget your devotionals. Don't forget to share, love, follow, like, comment. No negativity, just positivity and all just love and realness. We want us, our peoples and everybody real. All right. Mwah. I love you. See you back here hopefully later on today after this inspection, after everything. And then we'll finish up. We're almost done with Genesis. I'm so excited. I love you guys so much. And we'll see you back here shortly. Mwah. I love you guys.